Mysterious reoccurring blood splatter in our bathroom. Is my husband lying to me? Hold on, because this story is definitely an odd one. Ever since my husband 26 and I 24, females settled into our new apartment about 8 months ago, I've been discovering strange splatters of blood on the walls, cabinets, and floors near our toilets, and even once on our bathroom mirror. These are typically small droplets, though occasionally they are smeared, presumably when they're still fresh. Initially, one might think it's menstrual blood, but I haven't had a period in 2 years due to my birth control. I first noticed these unsettling signs around 3 or 4 months ago. Each time I cleaned them up, and they reappeared, I brought it up with my husband. Initially, he claimed ignorance about their origins. However, as they persisted, he eventually explained that his nose often bleeds when he blows it, which might be causing the mess. While I somewhat accepted his explanation, I'm puzzled because I've never experienced such a mess from merely blowing my nose. I've also suggested that he consult an ENT specialist since frequent nosebleeds from blowing one's nose aren't typical, but he insists it's nothing to worry about. The pattern remains. I clean the droplets, and within days, they're back. Whenever I point them out, my husband becomes visibly annoyed and dismissive. He remains adamant that the blood is from his nose, but it's hard to imagine how blowing one's nose could result in such a widespread mess, or why he isn't alarmed by daily nosebleeds. I recently inquired if he's always had this issue. Having once dated someone who suffered from severe nosebleeds due to a thin nasal lining, I know such conditions exist, but my husband doesn't recall if his nose always behaved this way, and quickly shuts down the conversation. Notably, we never encountered this issue during the 4 years we lived in our previous home. Moreover, our intimate life doesn't reveal any cuts or injuries on him that could explain the blood. I'm growing weary of continuously cleaning up these blood stains, and I am equally concerned and disgusted by the thought that he might not be managing his nosebleeds properly. A friend in high school had similar symptoms that turned out to be a serious medical issue, so I can't help but worrying. So, here I am, turning to Reddit. Is my husband being truthful? Could it really just be from his nose? If so, why the sudden increase in frequency? Why is he so defensive about it? What should I do? Update. We finally unraveled the mystery of the recurring blood in our bathroom. I anticipate some skeptics will continue to suggest my husband might be concealing a drug issue. Despite this update, after sharing this, I plan to retire this account. Initially, I got around 10 direct messages with photos showing the aftermath of drug use involving needles or nasal intake, meant to compare with what I was finding. None matched, combined with no financial discrepancies, absence of behavioral red flags, and my thorough search of our 800 square foot apartment revealing nothing amiss, I confidently concluded drugs were not the culprit. I'm relieved to share that my husband is simply a bit messy. Thanks to everyone who shared their experiences and photos concerning drug use. Your stories and wishes for health and peace are appreciated. It's been months since my initial post. During this period, I received harsh messages, with some even suggesting divorce if my husband were using drugs. However, my stance is clear. If he was struggling with addiction, I'd support him rather than leave. Nonetheless, I continued to search for hidden drugs to no avail. After another heartfelt discussion, my husband acknowledged his nighttime nosebleeds and committed to turning on the light to clean up after himself. He has since kept that promise, and the blood drops ceased. 2 weeks ago, a breakthrough came via an Instagram reel about common mistakes with nasal sprays. The first warning sign listed was frequent nosebleeds, which clicked for me. Since moving, my husband's allergies worsened, prompting him to use Flonase. He started the spray shortly before the blood first appeared. He had switched to using my nasal spray prescription, which I changed from Flonase's spray to their new pill form. After showing him the video, He paused his nasal spray use for a week to reset his sinuses. Upon resuming, he adjusted his spray technique as advised. Remarkably, his snoring and the whistling sound from his nose ceased, and his voice even sounded different. Most importantly, the nosebleeds stopped. No more mysterious blood, and no more undue stress. My husband can now breathe easily for the first time since our move. Many might wonder why he didn't consult a doctor about his nosebleeds. It's because finances are tight, and he has significant anxiety about medical visits. But there you have it, case closed.